The UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon has described it as a chilling reading. He calls it a war crime and the worst use of chemical weapons in 25 years. What do you have to say about the position taken by the UN?
Well, I think it is using of chemical by any means, it is a crime against the humanity. It is a kind of killing of people, whether conventional or non-conventional method, it's also a crime against the humanity. Therefore, we have lost more than 120,000 in a conventional method. We lost quite, which is smuggled through Turkey, which Turkey on 31st of May, you remember we discussed this. It was yesterday Turkey released the 12 al-Nusra fighters who were captured with them. 2 bottles of sarin, but nobody knows where the sarin come from, where the sarin went to them. So therefore, unless and until as an international body, it has to play a major role to play in the neutral and do not fall prey to what the West or what the US dictate them to do. I think Ban Ki-moon has to be more balanced in his reporting because it's a crime, it's a humanity, we are all suffering at it, and we expected from him to come in the open and more frank and a more comprehensive study. Let his team go back and find out what happened really in the ground in Syria.
Okay, Mr. Kapoor, how do you look at this report? Because we knew right from the start that it was outside the remit of the UN inspectors to say who did it. They were there just to examine whether or not an attack ever took place, a chemical attack took place.
You know, I had a chance to go through the report before I came here. And if you go through that report, there are a few things that come out very strikingly. The fact is that on the 18th of August, you had the UN team which came to Damascus after much, I think, a lot of diplomatic wrangling, that they wanted to investigate an earlier chemical weapon attack. And while they were there on the 21st, the attack takes place. And again, they don't get to hear about it, but subsequently they get to know that not far away from Damascus in the Ghouta area, suburb, something like this has happened. And after, there's a lot of
at a delicate stage, or do you think it is loaded in the favor of the US and Western powers?
I think the language of the report is trying not to assign culpability, but rather, for the UN, they also have to think about whether anything they do could become part of a slippery slope leading to Western military attacks. I don't think the UN approves it at all. In fact, the UN is wary of a Western military attack that would bypass the Security Council. So I think Ban Ki-moon is very clear about that, and he has already said that it would be obviously illegal as per international law. But if you look at the circumstances around the attack itself and the previous attack, especially the one in Aleppo way back in March, it's clear that these could be, and in fact Western intelligence agents of the record have been saying this, that this could have been a kind of what they call a false flag attack, which is basically meant to rally Western intervention to support the rebels, using an alibi or an excuse.
Right.
So that is possible. It's very much possible. And as far as the the delivery mechanisms are concerned for the attack themselves of August, they are not very sophisticated. So it doesn't require a lot. And given the amount of munitions that the rebels are getting from Turkey, it's not far-fetched to imagine that they could have also done it. And then if you go back to the previous attack, the Russians actually did a very thorough investigation. So they have a right to claim that this is somewhat haphazard. The Russians produced some 100-page analysis of the Khan al-Assal attacks of March and submitted it in July, right? And in which, of course, given their political position, they are showing that it is the handiwork of rebels. If you
the Iran angle on as well, whether Iran is the West's real target and not Assad's Syria. When we return from this quick break, stay with us.